Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. Tonight, I actually have my good friend, independent comic book writer.
Hello, I am Quentin Bennett from Severe Comics.
And we are actually going to be doing our Star Wars What If. This is actually going to be a little fun speculation about what we would like to actually see from episode 10. We cannot do what's already been done with the other episodes, so we figured what better way to do things is to move forward and not backwards. So, without further ado, let's go on ahead and get on with this. So, we already know how episode 10, 9 actually ended. And with Ray and stuff like that. My question is this. Now, do you want to My question is this. Now, did you want to actually have a continuation with Ray? Just doing different things within the Jedi Order and stuff like that with Ray, or would you like this to be a separate story away from that whole entire deal?
I think it's best to because there's so many mixed feelings with the previous three that for the best for both sides of the fandom is to just go past 100 years or so in the future.
Okay.
The way I probably would go with it is Ray pretty much set up the Jedi Order on Tatooine, where he decided to live in.
So I would like to actually see. Well, I would like to actually see maybe Rey actually training somebody within being a Jedi, doing that. She winds up becoming the teacher. Somebody doesn't know what they're going to be using the Force for. There, as a matter of fact, I don't want to be set in Tatooine or anything like that. I want it set to another planet rather than that, because Star Wars is such a bigger galaxy than what it is, and they keep on setting it up, and they keep on setting it up in the same planet. Like, that's the only planet that is allowed to actually have someone with the Force. So, to me, to keep the originality behind it, expand the universe, make it bigger than what it actually is. Yes, we saw that with The Last Jedi, with the casino and stuff like that, and we got Ocean's 11 in space.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see a lot more with that. And I think that having Rey train somebody that just discovers that they actually have some type of Force ability inside of them would actually be beneficial. What do you think?
Yeah, that's understandable because a lot of people want to see new things, but there's a big piece of the fandom that is so connected to Tatooine,
Right?
Because it's like the go-to planet towards anything. People love the Muskin Raiders, and everyone loves all those elements, and the Hutts too. That's why I always wanted the Hutts to be the main villain of the series, or the main three.
Okay.
Yeah, just imagine it. If the Jedi Order, if we decide to put the Jedi Order on Tatooine, that means the Hutts will lose control of that planet. That'd be forced out completely. So what would happen if one of the family members of the Hutts, and this used to be a big canon with the novels and the comics back then, that one of the Hutts was a Force user and joined the dark side. So I think it'd be kind of cool to actually use that as a continuity. I can't remember the name of that character though.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't place the character's name. I know that there was a Hutt that was actually, using the Force and was actually forced, right, the dark side and everything was forced out of there. Yeah. But I would like to actually see that as a villain. I would like to actually see that. That would actually bring something new to it.
Yeah.
And also, too, I think the fan community has actually gotten a little bit better now since Mandalorians came out. Yeah. And now that they gave us something new to actually look forward to, and Jon Favreau has been doing a great job just killing it. But, I would like to actually see that whole entire thing where the Hutts are actually drawn out of this desert planet, and now they're actually having to seek a way to actually survive on another planet and try and take back their planet.
Yeah, and you got this huge criminal empire. You got so many possibilities with that. So many. You got like if you got a hut that is dark force sensitive, and he would like bring others that's sensitive to the dark side. Can you imagine that? Like, I remember I created a fan, a made up character for the Star Wars one time.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. And he was going to be like this cybernetic character. He was like all black and white. And that's the thing. I want to see this type of new rogues gallery where these group of dark side Jedi's. That's what I want to call them.
Mm. See, that would actually be a different twist.
Yeah, that they work for the Dark Force user huts. That they wear black and white. It's straight up black and white.
That would be interesting, to be honest with you. And also, too, I was also thinking this, too. I want something that's different. I would like to actually see them maybe going after, like, an artifact that the Jedi actually has to protect. And everything. And maybe a bounty hunter is actually after that artifact. And therefore, the bounty hunter doesn't know the context of what's going on with that artifact that makes it so rare for somebody to have. So you actually have someone from the dark side hiring a bounty hunter to take this, and then at the same time you have the Jedi who's actually trying to protect it at the same time. So therefore you have that constant conflict between a bounty hunter and a Jedi.
An idea popped in my head.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I was going to mention this, that the main character was going to be the grandson of Vice Skywalker. But see, that's what he wants to go by. And I want him to be I actually want him to be a dropout. He's going to be a bounty hunter, and he decides he's going to wear a cowboy hat and everything.
That would actually be a really cool idea, though. I mean, we already have Mandalorian, which is like a Western movie in space. So I would be for that.
Yeah, an ex Jedi that's now a bounty hunter, and he pretty much trying to stay away from the new Jedi temple and everything, but he decided to go back there because he had to visit one of his family members' funeral.
Right.
So I think it'd be kind of interesting that he has to go back and find out this new criminal empire, the Hutts, trying to destroy the temple and trying to find this new, what you said is an artifact. What if they had to go find Darth Sidious's vault?
I would love to see that, to be honest with you.
That'd be a good callback. That
would be a good callback, to be honest with you. Lord Sidious would actually be perfect because, God knows what's in those vaults. So they can go after a series of several other things that would actually make him that much powerful.
Yeah, and Sidious was known as a big dark side collector. He would collect all artifacts from everything.
Exactly. And so the bounty hunter probably is thinking that maybe these artifacts are a myth.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, I guess I'll do it and everything, It's just a myth. It's a fugazi. It's fake. There's no way this is actually real. I'll go on ahead. I'll collect my credits. You go do your thing. I'll do my thing. I'll go on ahead and see if this is actually in Lord Sidious's vault. Lo and behold, it's actually real because next thing you know, he sees a bunch of Jedi flying in there trying to do something, and he doesn't quite know what's going on. So then next thing you know, he's picking out that where the artifact actually is to find out why the Jedi are actually there. This could be a whole entire thing of like a Mission Impossible in space kind of scenario.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And plus you got all these new. What did I say?
Okay, Tara says that definitely sounds good. It always seems to be bounty hunters are always protecting themselves. It would be different to see them do it differently.
Yeah, it would.
I think it
And
would
plus,
be a different spin.
yeah, and plus you got the new Dark Force Jedi's be going over the place, and I would love to see something different, like a like a. I want this one type of Jedi that is, I mean not Jedi, the Dark Force user, Dark Jedi, will have these gauntlets, these metal gauntlets that can reflect the lightsabers.
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of the metal is in the series.
God.
I'm pretty sure someone will tell me in the comments down below. But
But
can you
yeah,
imagine?
hmm.
Can you imagine
No,
a
go on ahead. Keep talking. I got it.
Can you imagine a dark Jedi having these gauntlets and he doesn't use a lightsaber, but he was like pummel his foes and do all kinds of crazy stuff. That would It would be different. You got to do things differently every single time. You got to put something fresh in. So I think that'd be kind of cool to see.
Right. I agree
What you
with you on that. Well, matter of fact, it's actually called a Sith amulet, which
Is that
is
what it is?
something that, yeah, matter of fact, I actually made an OC Star Wars character at one time where it was actually a battle between, let's say, for instance, that Darth Maul went on ahead and teamed up with this other species that was just like him. They just
Yeah,
found, and he was just using her as a way to actually gain power from her.
huh.
So so his goal was to steal like an artifact, like I mentioned before, which is actually a gauntlet, believe it or not, is what you mentioned. And and then all of a sudden there's this other Jedi that just comes up into this temple or into this vault area. And next thing you know, there's this big old huge battle. While this battle is going on, the vaults, the place that they actually hold the vault, is actually collapsing around them. So it's actually causing more destruction than anything. So, and of course, this Jedi that is part of this OC and everything too in the story, I was actually using it to where, he was a smart ass, cracking jokes, just being a total butthole towards Darth Maul and everything. And Darth Maul is getting angrier and angrier because he's actually using his apprentice to do his bidding for him rather than him do it because he's out in the shadows.
Yeah.
So that's what I was using. But that can also still be used for the same principle, but not have Darth
Yeah.
Maul involved in it. But, I love the idea that they're actually going after these Sith amulets and
Yeah.
everything. And I love that story.
And
Kara said this too. She goes, I feel like they would get more views if they were to make something very different. I mean, Disney, if Disney doesn't mess it up.
that's true.
Right.
I mean,
I
you
feel
gotta
like,
understand, Disney was very skimmish about doing Star Wars. I mean, very skimmish.
mm,
They were very skimmish at the very beginning. That's why the first movie was just like the first one does, just like by the basics.
right. And I can understand why they would actually do it by the basics because it's been 30 years since we've
Yeah.
actually gotten the OG Star Wars, the original
Yeah.
Star Wars crew back together again. So it had to be like this. It had to be a reintroduction into this world again.
Yeah.
And there's no other way to actually do it. You had to involve a 2017 at that time audience, and it was actually hard to actually gravitate towards something different. So of course you actually have to gain new characters, put in the characters that we knew from before, so it could be successful. Because
Yeah.
without those characters, yeah, you can have Star Wars plastered on it, but you actually have to have a little bit of references to the original movies to actually be called Star Wars. You actually have to have some type of continuity, some type of connection with those characters. Otherwise, it just becomes something in outer space. It does not even call Star
Yeah.
Wars. It just says Star Wars on the poster when it's not really actually Star Wars. So for them to reintroduce us into this world was actually perfect, in my opinion, to actually go ahead and make The Force Awakens the way it is. Some people say, oh, it's just a reboot. It's just a remake. I said, it's
Yeah.
not a remake. it's a new way of telling a story to make it a continuation of the
very
original.
safe way, you know. But with Mandalorians, it pretty much prove the opposite at the same time, in
Right,
my opinion. But and that's a but though.
right. That's a big but.
That's a Jabba the Hutt but.
Oh, James Uppen. He says, gotta have that tie in so that the younger viewers can connect with the storyline. Exactly, James. Exactly. You do need to have that tie in, especially when we have Rebels, especially when we have all these
Rebels,
new.
Clone Wars.
Right, right. The Big Batch, which I thought was actually. I remember the poster when the Big Batch came out for the announcement. I thought it was called like the Big Bitch or something like that because the way the poster was actually made. The Bad Bit. No, the Bad Batch was actually what it was called. And I thought it said the Bad Bitch. I'm like, wait, Star Wars is going a little hardcore here. And then I'm like, oh, okay, the Bad Batch. Tara says, I agree. I love the Star Wars Force Awakens. I enjoyed the whole movie. I did too.
Yeah, I enjoy it too.
But yeah, I think that the way that we're approaching.
I think the big mistake was actually putting in two different directors who has two different ideas for the stories.
Right.
If they were,
exactly.
because look at how the other Star Wars were made. It was all done by George Lucas himself.
Right.
And you look at the Lord of the Rings, it was done by Peter Jackson himself and the Hobbits as well. You got to have something with the same mindset throughout the whole series. You can't have two people and just have them do whatever they want.
Right. And here's the thing. JJ was actually filming another film during that time. So they had to get another director in that place, and that was Brian Johnson. But let me just tell you this, though. Now, the thing that I have to say is this. And the whole fact that J.J. Abrams was actually going to use Luke Skywalker's hand as a way to actually tell the story of how these clones are actually going to become bad. Everything. The hand was actually going to be floating out in outer space, and then they were going to use the DNA from that hand and make a clone. So it actually makes sense, though. I mean, it makes sense on how they would actually do that because we were introduced into the clones and everything towards the end of this last film. And in my theory, I was thinking along the lines of the fact that Palpatine's back. There was a way to actually bring him back. And he's using Luke's hand as a way to make clones. I was actually thinking Rey came from a clone.
Yeah.
And everything. And she doesn't remember anything because of the fact that, she came from Luke's hand, which also makes sense that he might be like an ancestor or some type of relation to Luke because of the hand.
Yeah.
But that was my whole entire speculation and theories. That went out the window as soon as I saw the OP version of Rey at the very end of the film. But what I mean by OP, guys, if you're not used to lingo like that, OC means original characters, and then OP is overpowered characters. So in case you wanted to know. But yeah. What else? What other stories do you have in mind, though, for episode 10?
But like I was saying you got an ex-Jedi that's now a bounty hunter that goes back to his home planet for a funeral. I can't say it for a funeral, and he meets a bunch of his old comrades and everything, and then of course that's when the Hutts were attacked, and they were and those dog Jedi's are the ones that trying to find the map with Rey herself put away in that Jedi temple.
Right. And I also want to say this too. I do not want to see another Death Star. We've gotten Death Star over and over again.
I don't think that will happen anytime soon. I think that's done.
But you know what though? I liked our idea though. because the fact we're not using a Death Star or anything like that. We're using the
Yeah,
fact that someone took somebody else's territory. Now
yeah.
it's up to the Hut to go ahead and take back the territory back. And
Hmm.
also, too, what if in his line of thinking, he can use that artifact to take that territory back and everything too.
Yeah, and not to mention there's not to mention that you got the main character that as I see it's I say it's a Palpatine. What if he finds out that he's a Palpatine and that's why he decided to leave the Jedi Order because he just feels everything just everything feels haywire for him and he had to find himself now. Can you imagine that?
God,
To
that's like
find
starting all over again.
Yeah, can you imagine that you finding out that that your last name ain't what it set out to be, and you had to go find yourself.
And then after that, you try and relearn everything that you once knew and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, everything's a lie.
Right. Which I think would actually end up being great because of the fact that
Yeah,
you have layers to a character. You
you
add layers to
got
the
to grow.
character. Right, exactly. You add those layers to the character. You actually have
Yeah,
certain elements to where you can actually feel a connection with that character to the point because everybody can actually feel something within Star Wars. They can represent and get this. People can actually represent themselves in a certain way with certain characters.
yeah,
And it's according to how you build that character and how you actually use that character to the beneficial needs of what you're trying to do with that character. And I think that it would actually be perfect in
yeah,
that way.
yeah. They'd be like you can do the reveal any way you want too. You can be like the main character, whoever this main character is gonna be. We'll find us the first the, the first vote. Because I'm pretty sure Sidious had many votes throughout the whole galaxy, hidden
Right,
everywhere.
there is. A matter of fact, I forgot what planet I used, and it was actually another desert planet,
Yeah.
but it was like an Egyptian type of planet that I actually
Mhm.
found, and I forgot the name of the planet or whatever. But it was also another temple, and it was actually holding another amulet, another
Ooh.
Sith artifact.
Uh, can you
So
imagine what if the main artifact is actually something that belongs to Bane, Darth Bane?
that would be awesome. I would love to see that. I would love to see those little nuggets of
Yeah.
connectivity. It's
Yeah.
not on the nose. It's just a little passing through that type thing, like we saw with example Thor Ragnarok.
Not Bane. Who was the other what was the other villain other Sith Lord? Um the one that's immortal.
Uh,
You know, he was like the main villain in the Star Wars games, the Knights of the Old
right.
Republic. I can't remember his name.
I don't. I remember who. I can see his face, and I can't remember. Yeah, but
What
yeah,
if what if they what if the Hut wants that because of immortality?
it's Darth Andow too. I think
Yeah,
that's the
that's
name
it.
of it. That's a
See,
tongue twister. I couldn't remember that for nothing. But
that
yeah,
that would be a good way to get the story going because because the villain needs to have a goal. Not only does he want his criminal empire back, but what if he wants immortality to top it off?
exactly, because these Darth Lords want to rule the universe forever. They don't want
Yeah,
to have anybody else in control of it. So that would actually be great motivation for that, to be honest with you.
yeah. And plus you got all these other dog Jedi's. There'll be a lot of backstabbing and everything. You got there's like tons of potential out there.
Let's see, the star has gone through so much. How would it even be hanging in space? Talking about the Death Star. That's very true. But yeah, I feel like the Death Star has been done over and over again. We killed it twice, and it's
3.
And 3 times, that's right. Because we had the prequel to the sequel, which was actually Rogue One. So yeah, that's actually how I call it. I call it the prequel to the sequel.
Pre-sequel.
Sequel. But yeah, I think that doing to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind actually pitching this to like Kathleen Kennedy and Disney to Disney.
Disney, listen to us. We own this. This is all ideas.
All rights are reserved by Quentin Bennett and me. But yeah, I think that this would be actually a fun little segue to actually bring something new and fresh to the table.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. Anything that will be beneficial and something for change, I'm all for it.
and plus, what was that? Young Yoda, Baby Yoda.
Another thing.
Be a full-grown dope in that one. Because
let's talk about Groove. Well, let's talk about Baby Yoda. Let's talk about Groove for a minute. My speculation is this. With the way that it ended, with Luke carrying Groove.
Yeah.
My speculation is this. I'm thinking Groove is going to die.
Yeah.
Because number one, here's my reasons, and let me know what you think. Number one, we have the connectivity to the character from season 1. We have the emotional attachment to that character. We have the development of that character. Number 4, we already know what happens in the House of Ren. Ren winds up killing all the Jedi. So therefore, Gru could actually be part of that House of Ren and everything when Kylo winds up destroying that the Jedi Temple. And Gru is going to be dead. Therefore, you're going to have the Mandalorian. You're going to have Mando now being pissed off to the point where he's going to go on a revenge tale.
Yeah, be going after the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Well, I think that's the case though, because one thing we learned about this about little baby Yoda. What's it, man? What was his name again?
Gru or something like that.
Yes, I'm just gonna call him Baby Yoda.
Okay.
Because I can't never remember his name, but
okay.
One thing we learned about him that he's a survivor. He already survived Order 66 and everything.
Right.
So most likely he would have survived this too, because he's a smart cookie.
He is. And you know what though? As a matter of fact, I need to actually talk about something real quick.
Yeah.
And that is the fact that, we've been talking about Star Wars and everything, and I have a quick question for you. As a matter of fact, our episode is actually being sponsored by the NBA shop. And I have a quick question for you. What would Baby Yoda wear? What basketball team would he actually wear? And everything. And what little small figure would he actually carry with him that would be perfect for the NBA store?
I can say Baby Yoda with the Lakers.
Okay. And I'm going to go the different route. I'm going to say the Celtics, but
Baby Yoda with the Lakers. You said get that face.
Right? Well, get this though. Today's episode is brought to you by the NBA store. A new year brings the start of a new NBA season. Suit up with the latest gear to show your support for your team. We may be sidelined from going to the arena, but that doesn't mean you can't watch basketball from your couch in style. We are teaming up with the NBA and Pago to bring our listeners up to 75% off on select items. Yes, you heard that right. Go to pago.com/NBA for up to 75% off select items from the NBA store. The NBA is where amazing things happen. So go on ahead, sign up over there, get your NBA gear, suit up, shoot some baskets with Baby Yoda, and
Baby Yoda in the basket.
Right. But yeah, So, anyways, following the rest of the segment, I do feel like that having Baby Yoda maybe die would actually end up having a deep impact on certain events and everything too.
Hmm. It's a possibility that he will die, but I don't think Disney would do that, especially if he's a big money maker to them now.
True. But what better then again, Superman was a big money maker for DC and they killed him off. But although he wasn't adorable like Baby Yoda, but it would be but it would be ballsy though. It would be ballsy to actually kill off the character that's huh?
But we all know how Disney is. Huh?
True.
They would not.
But I do want to have right, I do want to have a little bit more danger for Baby Yoda than what we
Yeah,
got in the Mando series.
yeah, that's true. But but I just know how Disney is when it comes to the profits. They ain't gonna
True.
let something like that die.
That's true. That's very true. So let's see here.
Baby Yoda is like a Disney princess now.
Oh God, I don't know about that, but
that is gonna happen.
but my other question is this: like, what else do you see? Okay, we did the artifact idea.
Yeah.
We did the hut actually stealing the land being stolen from them, which is actually something new. There's a war between the huts and also the dark side as well.
Yeah, I think
Where
that'd
they
be interesting. It'd be a very unique way to do the story because you now focus on a criminal empire that's now grown way too powerful, and everything is now in complete chaos because these criminals are going over the place. The huts and everything. The bounty hunters doing their biddings. The dark Jedi's.
That's
And they
true.
look at all these powerful artifacts that the Sith has, looking for the city's vaults. And
You see, it'll be like an Indiana Jones kind of feel to it, though, too.
yeah, it would. Ooh, the character I told you about, the one I come up with.
Yeah.
He was going to be a cybernetic dark Jedi.
Yeah.
That he's going to be the one hunting the main character down all the time.
That would be interesting. I would actually like to see that.
And he would have these lightsabers that would come out his wrists like this on both sides. Okay.
So you kind of go on like Wolverine style with it.
Yeah, he'd be like
lightsaber.
He'd be like chasing out to the wall, climbing buildings and everything. And the main characters would be like, man, this guy just won't quit.
That would be an interesting twist, though. I wouldn't mind actually seeing that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Like, I don't see no lightsaber. I could see the Jedi looking at him as like, I don't see no lightsaber or anything like that. All of a sudden,
that's new.
They made some enhancements since the last time that they since the Darth Lords took over. Which I think that would actually be pretty cool. I mean, I love the concept of that. The possibilities are just endless.
Yeah, it's very endless. I mean,
what do you think about this though? Too. What about the Jedi temple though?
I think there will be a new Jedi temple
with the artifacts.
The what?
What about Jedi temple with artifacts though? Something that's locked up and everything that maybe is telling the tale from the villain's perspective.
It's a good one.
So they would actually have to have something that maybe that they took from the dark side.
Most likely,
And
with Way, most likely thinks he took something from Sidious from like a little after the war was over.
that would
Most
be
likely,
interesting.
can you imagine that? She most likely did because there's a lot of stuff that's been cut out within that time period
That's
when she went
true.
back to. There's no telling what she took from after that big battle with Sidious, and no telling what else he found throughout
That's
that
true.
time period.
I would love to see that, though. I mean, I would like to maybe see, something maybe that's buried in the ocean somewhere on one of the planets and stuff like that. And they might actually have to go finding it, like an archaeologist, like marine
Yeah.
biology. I'd like to actually see something fresh, something different. I think this would actually be.
I actually want one of the main characters be like. Of course, you got the main character as a Jedi, and I want the other Jedi with him or her. Depends on where they're gonna go with it.
Right.
I actually
Now,
want that one guy that played in Game of Thrones.
which one? Is
The,
it
oh
one of the Lannisters or?
yeah, the short.
Oh, I know who
man.
you're talking about. Because I mentioned him before. Okay, go on.
I can't remember his name now, but I wanted him to.
Peter Dinklage. Yeah.
Yeah, I want him to be part of the team as a Jedi.
That'd be cool.
I think he'd be a good choice. And
because number one, okay, number one, we actually got to see him how he actually is on the battlefield in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Imagine how he would be having the Force.
Yeah.
And everything. Yes. I would love to see that. I would love to see Peter Dinklage in a movie like that, or a TV series.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. and then you got most likely you're gonna have a cyborg, a robot with him. I don't know if R2D2 is C3PO be still part of the team or not.
They would be actually what we call an antique by then. Yeah. But to be honest with you, I don't really want to see another droid with anybody or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I would like to actually see something away from that whole entire perspective, because we've seen droids working together with humans, and we also see them doing different things. I would like to actually see them go away from the whole droid thing and just let it be built on the Jedi and the dark. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that since he's a bounty hunter, the main character be the bounty hunter, and his little sidekick be the I forgot what they were called. Those things that owned Anakin Skywalker and his wife, his mom.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
I wanted him to be his little sidekick that's always getting in trouble.
But I wouldn't mind also maybe now I know I said that I don't want to have a droid, but what if you have one of those ones like Taika Waititi, like the droid that was in Taika Waititi, where he was like, okay, I'm going to self-destruct in like 10 minutes, that droid, have that droid with him.
There's always...
that would actually be good.
No, there's not so. Then I will self-destruct in 10 seconds. No. There's no need for it. Are you sure I don't need to self-destruct?
But how do you feel about not having a droid in the Star Wars universe with the main characters or anything like that? Because I feel like you don't really need to actually have the droid unless it's actually there for a purpose. Maybe
you don't really need it, but it feels like it's required now. It's like a status quo in the Star Wars mythos.
True. And then also too, if you're gonna go on ahead and try and get into Lord Sidious's vaults and stuff like that, you would
Yeah,
actually need to actually hack something.
yeah, you're gonna have to have a droid with you when it comes
That's
to
for sure.
security reasons. Mhm.
Unless you get Del Toro, the guy that was poorly used in Ryan Johnson's film, which I was actually excited to actually know that he was actually going to be part of this, Benicio Del Toro, and then all
Yeah,
of a sudden his character was a waste on film.
yeah,
I'm like, okay, you were poorly used, but I mean, you would actually need to actually have a droid in this situation that we're talking about, where you actually have to go in and have to decipher the code. And then, of course, this big battle is actually happening while the droid is actually deciphering this code. Therefore, both sides are actually having to fight during this time.
and you know what? I actually wanted Tuscan Way to be part of the team too.
Kristen Wiig, that would actually be
No,
pretty cool.
no, I'm saying Tuscan Raiders.
Oh, Tuscan. Okay, I thought you said Kristen Wiig. I'm like, okay. There's a different spin on it.
Yeah, I can imagine it being. Oh,
But but I just broke you. But go on ahead and tell me about this idea that you have because I really like it.
yeah, I think it'd be great. We better keep on Disney now.
Actually, Disney taking notes right now. It's like, okay, bounty hunter, temple, artifact. Okay, what else do they have?
We want you to be
But
part of the background.
you know what? You're just gonna be the buffer guy. The guy just holds the buffer, but the job that nobody wants.
Just have that face.
I can see us as things as they're actually saying our lines and doing the stuff that we wrote about. It's like that's not how we were supposed to say that. Go back over to the background. Okay.
That is not right. He was supposed to be 2 inches shorter.
It's like, okay, we need to get these two off the set right now. Or instead of them calling us by our names, it's like, okay, we need to get the buffer guys off the set and get the other buffer guy in.
And it's just big George Lucas being more angry than us.
Well, you see, what you need to do is you need to go on ahead and make it this way. but
Okay.
yeah, I think okay. So I think that we actually did pretty well with speculating on certain things. I wouldn't mind actually speculating this even more with episode 11, going on ahead and doing something like that. Maybe even doing some Mando stuff though too, on how what we would actually like to see from season 3. Do a what if thing with Mando. So I think that will be our next thing is like do like a what if story with Mando.
Yeah, we can probably do that and many other things. And
right, I actually like this. I
comment
actually
and describe what else you want us to do.
To be honest with you, I like this. I like this whole entire thing of just not even going into the Star Wars news and us just doing this. This is actually pretty cool. I really enjoy actually just using our imaginations on what we would like to actually see as Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll just send you one of the drawings I did from way back. What the characters look like.
Cool. Let's see. Tara said security.
What was that movie with Chris Rock, the president? Yeah.
Yeah. Or I can or bunk. But yeah, that's perfect.
I've seen so much, and that's the scene that see that gloved hand just come out of nowhere, just drags away.
But that's going to be it for the show and everything, guys. where can people reach you at?
You can reach me on www.severecomics.com, or you can reach me on Facebook on Severe Comics.
Okay.
I'd be love it. I would love
And
to go there. You can go now.
okay, it's okay. It's fine, man. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. And you guys can actually reach me at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite on Facebook. We also have a Pinterest, Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite over there. We also have an Instagram, Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite as well. If you want to go on ahead and go into all your entertainment purposes and needs and wants, we actually have a site for all your movie news, and that is www.movieloversunite.com. And we also have a GoFundMe page, which you can find in the links below. And another thing too, guys, is if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and do that by doing this. You can follow me at John DeGorio8 on Twitter, or you can follow me on Movie Lovers Unit on Twitter. And also too, we actually just jump started our Patreon, so what better way to go on ahead and support the page by subscribing to our Patreon. We have a $5 tier right now, where Tamika and I just reviewed a 1931 classic movie, gangster movie called Little Caesar. Go on ahead, check that out and everything. We actually dropped that. I know that we're not supposed to drop it until we actually have some subscribers and stuff, but we wanted you to give you a little bit of a taste of what our Patreon is actually going to sound like. So what better way to do that is just to drop that down for free. And then if you guys want to go on ahead and do that for $5, go on ahead. You guys can do that. And then we also have a $10 tier, which will actually get you a documentary series reviews that we're going to be doing, like Eli Roth's horror documentaries. And then we also have a $20 tier where you can actually sign up for, where you actually get both of those, plus interviews with independent comic book writers, artists, also two actors, actresses as well. So go ahead, go to the Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/Movie Lovers Unite. And always until next time, guys, it's been fun. It's been great. Thank you, Quentin, for joining me for tonight. I did enjoy this a lot. And it was a great show. Always until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.